Myles Garrett was born on December 29, 1995, in Arlington, Texas, a place more known for Friday Night Lights than NFL superstardom. From the beginning, Garrett stood out, not just because of his genetics or towering presence, but because of a rare combination of intelligence, intensity, and raw power. His mother, Audrey Garrett, was a track star at Hampton University. His older brother, Sean Williams, played in the NBA. Athleticism wasn't just in his blood, it ran through the very rhythm of his household. Even as a kid, Myles was different. He wasn't just bigger or stronger. He thought deeper, worked harder, and carried a silent ferocity that would later define his game. Growing up in a sports-driven household meant competition came early and often. Myles idolized superheroes, particularly the Hulk, a fitting parallel, considering the physical transformation he would undergo in his teenage years. But behind the strength and outward confidence was a thoughtful, quiet kid who loved poetry, paleontology, and painting. That duality, the soft-spoken thinker inside the body of a wrecking ball, made Garrett one of the most unique young athletes in America. At Martin High School, Garrett quickly became a nightmare for opposing offenses. Coaches marveled at his explosiveness off the edge, while teammates fed off his quiet intensity. His high school career culminated in national attention, and he emerged as one of the top defensive prospects in the country. Offers flooded in from across the nation, but Garrett chose to stay in-state, committing to Texas A&M. For a kid who could have gone anywhere, staying close to home spoke volumes about his values, loyalty, family, and focus. At Texas A&M, Garrett didn't just meet expectations, he obliterated them. As a true freshman, he broke the SEC freshman sack record previously held by Jadeveon Clowney. By the end of his three-year college career, he had compiled 31 sacks, countless tackles for loss, and a reputation as the most dominant edge rusher in the nation. But he wasn't just a stats machine. Garrett used his time in College Station to develop a deeper understanding of the game, studying film, perfecting technique, and crafting a mindset rooted in dominance. Off the field, he wrote poetry and immersed himself in literature, proving time and again that he was more than just a jock. He was a force. In the 2017 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns held the #1 overall pick, a franchise mired in years of misfortune and searching for a cornerstone. They found it in Garrett. He was selected first overall, and from the moment he touched the field in Cleveland, expectations were sky-high. His rookie season was marred by a high ankle sprain that delayed his debut, but when he finally took the field, he made an immediate impact, registering 2 sacks in his first game. Though the Browns still struggled as a team, Garrett's presence gave fans something they hadn't had in years: hope. Each season that followed saw Garrett elevate his game. He became faster, stronger, and more technically refined. Quarterbacks grew wary of his presence, sometimes double and triple-teamed, yet still able to disrupt. By 2018, he had earned his first Pro Bowl selection, and by 2020, he was in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. His stats, double-digit sacks, forced fumbles, and pressures, were elite, but so was his leadership. He grew into the heart of Cleveland's defense, both vocally and by example. Yet Garrett's journey hasn't been without controversy. In a 2019 Thursday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was involved in a now infamous brawl that saw him swing a helmet at quarterback Mason Rudolph. The moment drew widespread criticism and resulted in a season-ending suspension. For Garrett, it was a dark chapter, but also a defining one. He publicly took accountability, met with league officials, and committed himself to personal growth. That offseason, he focused not only on training but on restoring trust with fans, teammates, and himself. What followed was a redemptive arc, one that showcased resilience, maturity, and a renewed sense of purpose. Away from the gridiron, Garrett has cultivated a life that defies stereotypes. He's an avid reader, often quoting Maya Angelou and Langston Hughes. He writes his own poetry, sharing pieces that speak to mental health, discipline, and purpose. He's passionate about dinosaurs, even joking about becoming a paleontologist if football hadn't worked out. In interviews, he speaks with eloquence and self-awareness, challenging the narrow box that athletes, especially defensive linemen, are often placed in. He's also been an advocate for social justice, using his platform to address systemic inequality, support community initiatives in Cleveland, and uplift underserved youth through his Myles Garrett Foundation. Garrett's lifestyle is as layered as his personality. He owns an impressive car collection, including a custom Aston Martin and a vintage Camaro, but he's just as content biking through the city or spending a quiet evening with his family. His home is a reflection of his unique identity, modern yet grounded, with touches of art, bookshelves filled with classics, and even a dinosaur fossil or two. He's financially secure, with an estimated net worth of over $30 million as of 2025, largely thanks to his NFL contracts, endorsements with brands like Nike and Bose, and entrepreneurial ventures that continue to grow. But wealth hasn't diluted his sense of self. Garrett remains centered, focused, and constantly evolving. On the field, Garrett's game is nearly unmatched. He combines a rare blend of speed, strength, and finesse, able to overpower offensive linemen one snap and blow past them the next. His pass-rushing arsenal is deep: spin moves, swim moves, bull rushes, all executed with surgical precision. His football IQ is elite, often calling out plays before the snap and adjusting his positioning based on minute shifts in offensive schemes. He's not just an athlete, he's a student of the game. As of the 2024 NFL season, Garrett stands as one of the most feared defenders in the league. He consistently ranks at the top in sacks, pressures, and defensive impact metrics. He's a perennial All-Pro and a franchise cornerstone for a Browns team that has shifted from perennial underdogs to serious contenders. Cleveland's resurgence as a football city is due in no small part to Garrett's dominance, and the respect he commands from teammates, opponents, and fans alike. Garrett's influence goes beyond stats or accolades. He's helped change the culture in Cleveland, bringing with him a standard of excellence that's contagious. Young players look up to him, veterans respect him, coaches trust him. He's become the pulse of the Browns, someone whose presence shifts expectations and whose absence is deeply felt. And while injuries have occasionally slowed him, they've never defined him. His commitment to training, recovery, and peak performance is relentless. He treats his body like a temple and his career like a calling. As the next chapter of the NFL begins, one filled with younger quarterbacks, faster offenses, and evolving schemes, Garrett remains a beacon of what defense can be: intelligent, aggressive, and game-altering. He continues to chase greatness not with noise, but with action. With each sack, each tackle, each leadership moment, he moves one step closer to carving out a legacy that could someday be cast in bronze in Canton. The story of Myles Garrett is one of paradoxes and power. He is the intellectual bruiser, the poetic enforcer, the hometown hero with global potential. He doesn't need to scream to be heard. His play speaks volumes. He doesn't need to chase clout. His presence commands it. And he doesn't need to prove his worth. He lives it, every down, every drive, every day. From the suburban fields of Arlington to the national spotlight of the NFL's grandest stages, Garrett has become more than a football player. He's become a symbol of second chances, of relentless work ethic, of embracing every side of who you are. And while he's already achieved so much, one senses that the best is yet to come. That's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this look into the journey of Myles Garrett, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories from the world of sports. Until next time.